Now we're going to apply our search strategies in real time. So we're going to actually go through the research process. So I've started here at the library homepage, library.sjsu.edu. Of course, I need to start with the question. So I've developed the question today, which I'm going to put in the OneSearch search box so you can see it. And my question is, what is the effect of minimum wage increases on unemployment rates for low-skilled workers? So I certainly could start here in OneSearch, and I even could pose this as a question in OneSearch because it's a very general search tool from the library. But today, I want to go ahead and go into a particular database. As I mentioned, Academic Search Complete is a really good broad interdisciplinary database. And then, of course, we have ECON Lit, which is our discipline-specific database. So to go to the databases, I will, beneath the one search box, click on Articles and Databases. This will then take me to the A to Z list. If I wanted to search for a particular name, like if I wanted to search for the Econ Lit, I could certainly enter it here. If I want to search for all the economics databases by subject, I can type in and select economics and then click search. And now you can see our best bets, including Academic Search Complete and Econ Lit. And you also see a call out box here for me on how you can reach me and reach our guide for this class. So I'll go ahead and select Academic Search Complete. And now I'm going to, of course, think about the question and remember that there are general concepts in the question and break those down into keyword searching. So what were some of the general concepts? Well, we talked about minimum wage, we talked about unskilled workers, and we also talked about the impact, right, on their employment rates. So I might decide to just try a search to begin with for unskilled workers. And then I'll enter minimum wage. And then I might even start with adding employment. I could do either unemployment or employment. And then I'll go ahead and run this search. And one thing I want to remind you of is that this is when you start searching, it's very much a trial and error process. So you're going to use the results from the searches to help you refine your future searches. To begin with, though, you're just going to go ahead and run this search. And of course, I have the ands set here, meaning that I want the database to return articles or resources in general that contain each of these three concepts or keyword terms or phrases. So I'll go ahead and click search. And then we're going to go ahead and use the results to help us narrow down what some additional terms might be, maybe find synonyms. So one way you can do that is to look at the subjects. So here I see minimum wage, employment. I can click more and I see unskilled labor. So when you see the subjects in this database, it indicates that these are the preferred search terms. So these are actually subjects that are tagged to articles. So you might want to consider changing up your search strategy from unskilled workers to perhaps unskilled labor, right? That might be a better search strategy. If you need peer review articles, you certainly could select the button beneath the search box and just select peer reviewed. Now this will refine my result set. It's not huge at the moment, right? I have 9 results, and this will then have all the peer review articles in one place in this particular bucket of results. So keep in mind that you can click on the title of the article, and that will take you into the article where you can find, again, the subject terms, which can help you to make future determinations for searches. And then you can always, of course, read the abstract. Notice here that this particular article focuses on employment on Australia. Maybe you want to focus only on the United States. So keep that in mind when you're building your searches. And then if we actually wanted to gain access to the full text of the article, we go ahead and use Access Now. And here we have the article in a PDF. You have a couple ways to get the article out of the database. You can either use the share, which will create a link, and then you can copy this to the clipboard and you can go ahead and either email that to yourself or add it to your Google Doc. We do want to get into the habit of relying on permalinks because while this may work, if they decide to make changes, and I'm pointing to the URL bar, this URL may change over time if they change, I don't know, access points to the article. So we do want to get into the habit of using permalinks that are embedded in the database, in this case, just using the create link option. Also, we could download it directly to our personal device. So that's one way that you can search a database. Keep in mind if you're using ECON Lit, so if we go back out to our list of databases, ECON Lit, it's going to look very similar to Academic Search Complete, but it does use its own controlled vocabulary of keywords. So keep that in mind. So if this is what Econ Lit looks like. Like I said, very similar to Academic Search Complete. It's just a little bit different in terms of the vocabulary and indexing that they use. Now, one of the advantages, as I mentioned earlier in one of our other videos, to using a tool like EconLit is that everything in this database is built around economics, right? When we are in Academic Search Complete, this database, let me go back to the list of results so you can see it. Keep in mind that this is a very general, broad, interdisciplinary database, but EconLit is specific for our discipline of economics. So hopefully that will help you get your searching started. And then you can go back to the guide and I'll walk you through additional steps of how to build a search and narrow down search strategies.